Hello, lovelies! We are live for day 2. Is my shirt backwards? My shirt's on backwards. Oh well. We are live for day 2 of... So, wow. This has been... I don't even know where to start. This has been my theme of 2023. I set out to teach a program, and universe, creator, says, oh yeah? You're gonna teach that program? You sure you want to teach that program? Okay, here's this life circumstance that you can't get out of to teach that program. And here's this certain circumstance that you can't get out of to teach that program. And here's this other specific circumstance that you can't get out of the program. And it just doesn't stop. It happened last month. I was teaching on sex and orgasms, and your girl had like 3. It happened with mindful motherhood, and it's happening now with Vortex. Really? You can teach that program? Okay, we're going to put you in the vice grip of your lungs are burning and you're ready to lose consciousness at this moment in time that you're going to teach Vortex. Sound good? No! It doesn't sound good. Okay, well, we're going to do it anyway. Oh, okay. Well, then, I'm along for the ride, I guess, because I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. So if this is the next step, this is the next step. Breathe in, breathe out. Hello, Amy. I'm so glad you're here. So, I'm in graphics. Please continue to share the I'm in graphics. I think there have been 2 shared so far, Amy being one of them. So please continue to share those on I'm in graphics. We will be drawing tomorrow. The last masterclass I taught in January, y'all, I gave away like $3,000 in mentorship money. So it is definitely worth it to share the I'm in graphics. Amy says she'll be here for a half hour. That's totally fine, babe. Totally fine. Okay, so we are looking more closely today at trust the process. And if you are not a stranger to this concept, trust the process and hang with me, okay? Different mentors present things differently. So even if you have heard a concept before, it will land with you different based on who you hear it from. Maybe you've experienced that with like a pastor or something. Like you've heard the same John 3:16, 1,400 times, and yet the way this person presents it, that was different. So hang with me. Trust the process on trust the process, okay? We have a lot. I have a lot for you. Oh, Kelly's here. Jennifer's here. Hello. So I have a theme for 2023. Who picked a word for this year? Drop it in the comments. What is your word for 2023, or have you already forgot? You know, we're like 5.5, 6 weeks into 2023. Have you already forgotten what word you picked for the year? Did you pick a word of the year? What was your word of the year that you picked? Let me know in the comments. So I had not picked a word until about mid-January. I hadn't done it. From a place of lack of intentionality. Because I had had one in years past and been disappointed by it at the end of the year. This is the disempowered feminine. If you get disappointed or you don't do something because you're afraid you'll be disappointed because you've been disappointed in the past, this is the disempowered feminine, and she needs healing. So I hadn't picked one because I had been disappointed in the past when I had picked one. And then I was in a course and it was presented to me to do so. And I am a girl who follows instructions. I did not make 6 figures last year without following instructions. 2020, I followed instructions when it felt horribly cringe. I followed instructions. I followed instructions, I followed instructions, I followed instructions, I showed up, I followed instructions. And that is how I made 6 figures last year. And so I was in a course, I paid to be there. Pick a word of the year. with a lot more context around it. Like, this is why, this is what I want you to think about, this is what I want you to build on. Oh, okay. It was, first homework was pick a word, and then we got the context in the next module, and it was like, okay, now if you want to change your word, go for it. Well, I did decide that I wanted to change my word, and I never got around to changing my word. And maybe I need to do this now if I don't want my year to continue on the trajectory that we're currently on, or maybe this is the exact trajectory that I need us to be on for our next level. I don't know. I'm open to either possibility. Amy says, Rasa and breath for the win, and her word was growth. Beautiful. So my word was safe. I picked safe. Really, Sarah? Safe? Like, there's some lot better words out there like consistency or intentionality or growth or freedom or love or like, there's way better words than safe, Sarah. Why did you pick safe? But it was with intention. I do think I could tweak it a little bit, but it was with intention. It kind of seems menial, right? Like the word safe, it kind of seems menial. Oh my gosh, Cynthia's here. Hi, Margaret. So like, Sarah, you have a home and you have an incredible marriage and your children are beautiful. And in the current economic climate, y'all are sitting pretty good. You're making 6 figures. How are you not safe? It had nothing to do with external circumstances and everything to do with in me. In me. It was a place from nervous system safety. Now, in the coaching industry, people are going to tell you that 2022 was the year of the nervous system. People used it in marketing, people used it in branding, people used it all over the place of like, I want you to choose my program from a place of nervous system regulation, which is a wonderful thing to do. And here I am, picking safe for my nervous system in 2023. I am nothing if I don't do anything outside of the box. Right? Right. And so I need to give you a backstory so that this makes more sense to you. So in 2009, we were in a recession. Who was there? I was there. And I graduated massage school in fall of 2009. And all through massage school, I had worked at Murdoch's. It's like a farm and western store. And when I graduated, it was in the city where massage school was. And so on the weekends, I would drive the 90-minute drive home. But I graduated in October, got married a week later, but it was a recession, and so I didn't quit my job. I kept driving 90 minutes one direction to this box store job and 90 minutes back home, 5 days a week. And we're in the country. I'm not talking a city 90-minute drive where you go 5 miles in 90 minutes. I'm talking like a 60 or 70 mile drive in 90 minutes. That was fall of 2009. May of 2010, I finally did get a massage job that was only 20 minutes away from home. And I was like, yes, no more driving back and forth. This is good. But it took me like 3 years to willingly want to go back to the city. I don't care what movie is playing at the theater. I don't want to go. I don't care what dining options there are. I don't care what theater production there is. I do not want to do that drive. No, do not take me on a date there. For 3 years before I was like, yeah, we could go. Now, that doesn't mean that I didn't go. I just didn't want to go. And so, you know, if we needed something from Home Depot, I would go. But I didn't want to go. Like, there was that much in me that was like, oh yes, that sounds like fun. No. Let's see here. And then after our first child was born, my nervous system was shredded. Like Like, you know the canvases that have the tiger paw that like shreds the canvas? That was my nervous system after we gave birth to my first child. Extreme postpartum depression, extreme postpartum anxiety. And if I left the house more than once a week that wasn't routine, so I was still working 2 days a week, so I would leave the house on Monday, take him to my mom, my son, and then drive the 20 minutes, probably 35 or 40 from my mom's house, to my job, back and pick him up, drive back to my house. That was Monday. Tuesday, I just had to drop him off next door at my in-laws. And then I was home the rest of the week, except for church on Sunday. This was 10 years ago. And if Cody was like, hey, we're going to go to Junction on Saturday, I was like, no, I don't want to. If there was something in the middle of the week where we were going 20 minutes to another town close by, I would dissolve. I was a wreck. Like, I could do the set things in motion, and that was all I could do. Do not ask me for more than the things that I have to do, and if there is more, by golly, do not ask me to do something tomorrow too. Like, if you make me leave the house more than once that is out of routine, I can't do it. It took years to heal from that. Years. And there's a lot of pieces that played into that. I'm sure there's a lot of pieces that played into that. I've healed so much from that, but it is still not uncommon for me to not leave our property for 7 days in a row. Like, I like being at home, and that's not a bad thing. But it doesn't wreck my nervous system to leave home anymore. In fact, actually from solstice week until last week, I did not leave my house very much at all because my husband would pick up groceries on his way home from work, and we weren't going back and forth to karate. With karate in play, we go at least twice a week. Like, just the way it is. And I tell you all of this with purpose, I promise. I promise. Currently, right now, I am in the vortex, and it is freaking squeezing hard right now. It is the lungs burning, uncomfortable, constricting boa, going to pass out feel at the moment. Ooh, Ashley's here. Hey, babe. Last night I cried in my husband's arms in the midst of being intimate. And it was very sexy, let me tell you. It was, yeah, no, definitely was not. But I feel like so much is closing in right now. I leave for an executive retreat next week, and there has been a month, I kid you not, a month of prep up to this point. Figuring out what I want my brand to represent in the photo shoot that we're going to do. Buying the pieces, the clothes, rurally, so I'm ordering them all. So I'm ordering multiple sizes, I'm ordering multiple colors. Checking size charts like crazy, seeing if it's going to be delivered on time. Having stuff show up and it not actually fit even though I checked the size chart, or the color actually not do so good with me, so then I have to order a different one. Probably 20 hours I have spent on Amazon or Shein shopping. Me too, Ashley. I'm so freaking excited for my up level after retreat, and I know it's going to be freaking huge based on everything that has happened that you're about to find out about. And so, like, we've had a month of prep. I have ordered cosmetics that I have never ordered in my life. Like, I think I got a spray tan. I've never had a spray tan before in my life. Yep, cosmetics that I've ordered. I have a brown leg on my right side and a not brown leg on my other side. The places I have gone in my mind's eye with my brand, like, this is all masculine pieces to create the feminine flow. These are masculine structure pieces, and they're tiring. They really are, especially when it's learning something new. How many times have you tried to learn something new and been like, heck with this, I quit? The first 3 hours that you're trying to learn anything new is I want to quit vibes. Like, it just is. If you can get past those first 3 hours, it's not so bad. It's really not. Then it feels like, oh, I get this. It's clicking. I did this in January with tax stuff, and I think somebody called me from there earlier today, and I was just like, I don't have space to talk to you right now. I'm sorry. Send me an email, which probably means they've sent me about 3 emails if they're calling me. And so, like, there has been so many things in the last month, yes, but in this year that are brand new. The tax strategy piece, the new accountant, the new tax preparer, the new ways to communicate with them because they're not local to me. I can't just be like, hey, here's my stuff, bye. Having an employer last year, or an employee last year, like all of these different things, they're new. And I said in a reel a couple, I don't know, days ago, may have been a week ago now, I felt like January I lived a lifetime. I felt like I was on a waterfall that I couldn't get off of, and that's genuinely what it was. It was like, you are on this trajectory, you cannot get off. Here's the coffee on the way, and I don't drink coffee, but it was like, here's the email that you have to answer, and if you don't have it answered by the time we get to this point, there will be penalty. So you have to answer it. And here's this phone call that you have to take now, or and if you haven't answered it by this point, there will be penalty. And I'm just like, I'm on this waterfall, and there was no getting off. There was no, here, you take care of this for me, because I was the one that had the answers and nobody else was. There was so many pieces that was just like, hitting me from 1,000 different directions, and I had to respond. There was no plan in place. It was just hit, respond, hit, respond, hit, respond. This was my January. And that very much felt like the squeezing part of the vortex, but we aren't out on the other side yet. I have not hit that golden shimmery floor yet, which means it's just getting tighter. And it's just getting tighter. And it's just getting tighter. Next week I fly to retreat. I will be gone for 10 days, I think, maybe 8 or 9. Longest I have ever been away from any of my children. And the first time that I have been away from my younger 2 overnight. Big emotions. Big emotions. And then Monday, I'm in work hours. I'm teaching mindful motherhood, and my boys went and did something that just flabbergasted me. I'm like, you did what? Like, I am so, like, this is not who my children are. And I'm like, what? What? And so it really made us do some reassessing. It really made us do some evaluation. Amy says taxes and entities and all the things is what I'm dealing with today. Yeah. And so it really made us do some evaluation. And I believe in coincidence in the way that you should listen to it. Like, I see it as a God wink. I see it as a second witness from a Hebraic mindset. Rebecca, it's not even full moon. Like, this is so next level. Like, the full moon, I feel like I didn't even feel it this last round because of everything else that was already just like, ah! I really did. I was like, that moon didn't affect us at all. Oh, wait. Maybe it's because everything else has been as nuts as it has for the last month. And so, I don't believe in coincidence. So this thing happens with my boys on Monday. Okay. What do we need to reevaluate? What do we need to reassess? Oh, guess what? The local Waldorf school is having an open house on Wednesday. Oh, okay, I'll go. You know, this would probably be a really good fit for my oldest. He's very artsy. Is he behind in math? Yes, he's behind in math. Can he catch up quick? Yeah, actually, I do think he can catch up quick. As long as, you know, we work on it at home, which obviously, hashtag homeschool mom of 10 years, I can work on it at home with him. Yeah, we'll try a half day on Thursday. Tried a half day this morning. I was in that town, 20 minutes away, all morning. While he tried a half day, I observed for a couple of hours, and then I left for a couple of hours, and then I came back and got him. I am smack in the middle right now, Amy. She's saying you were also flipped, so your energy was lower for when the moon was full. I'm right in the middle. I am solid 3/4 and quarter right now. And legit, like that open house that I went to yesterday, feels like it was weeks ago. Some of the tax tiers from January feel like they were 6 months ago. The half day that we did at the Waldorf school with my son this morning feels like it had to have been 4 or 5 days ago. I remember in 2021, I saw one of my mentors, she posted this, and some of you may remember. She said she feels like she lives an entire lifetime every single year. And at the time, I couldn't fully grasp that. Because I was still, like I was just hitting the shimmery bright ground of the vortex of not being able to leave the house freely. Like I was only a year or two out from that. So I didn't fully grasp her meaning at that point. And I probably don't grasp it to its full extent that she does now, but I certainly understand. This year, I have done as much this year as the average me 5, 6, 8 years ago did in a year. In 6 weeks. In 6 weeks. Ashley asks, is that like quantum leaping? We are going to look a lot at quantum leaping and working with the quantum in energetic escort. And you know me, you know, biblically grounded, creator rooted here. But we're going to look at manifestation, we're going to look at quantum, and we're going to look at energetics in energetic escort. If you were in energetic escort last year, it's very different this year, just FYI. Some people might consider it quantum leaping, Ashley, but typically it could be. Right now, I feel like if it is a quantum leap, I'm so much in the vortex at the moment that I can't answer that for sure. Maybe by May, I can give you a solid answer of, yep, that's what that was. At this moment in time, I can't see the end from the beginning yet, so I don't know for sure. There's my answer. That's a good answer. Let's see here. So the thing about entrepreneurship is that you have to pivot just like you pivot in a game of basketball. And just like in basketball, in a game, it has to be in an instant. It has to be on instinct. And I mentioned that yesterday. I mentioned instinct and I mentioned nudge. So we covered this in depth in Mindful Motherhood in Module 2, because the same is true of motherhood. And Mindful Motherhood is open until like the 20th, and it's only $444 if you wanted to jump in, and we still have a module to go next week. But you have to be able to commit to something and give it enough time to know for sure, yes, it's working, or no, it's not. Most people don't give anything enough time to say, no, it's not working. Or yes, it is working. They say, yep, I posted 10 reels in a row and I don't have any traction yet. Those reels don't work. Most people say 90 days, others say 120 days. 10? You're right, it didn't work. Your stick-to-itiveness was not there. But most people do not give something long enough to be able to assess and say, yes, it's working, or no, it's not. And then simultaneously pivot when it is necessary. So most of the population doesn't give something long enough to say yes, or it's working, or no, it's not. The next smaller percentage of the population will give something long enough and keep going, and keep going, and keep going when it's not working. This is the example I gave you yesterday with that financial program. We gave it long enough to work, and then we gave it long enough to work again, and it didn't. This is what I did with my network marketing business. I gave it long enough to work, and longer, and longer, and it wasn't working. But because I had been taught trust the process, which is what we're looking at today, because I had been taught persistence, because I had been taught stick to it long enough and it's bound to work, I was 7 years in and it still wasn't working. And I was like, someday it will, someday it will, someday it will. So I am not the average person that gives up too early. I am the next average person who doesn't give up or pivot when it needs to happen. At least the past version of me is that. We're growing into the next version of me that can nail the moment that needs to pivot. And this is where the nudge comes in. This is where you have to trust intuition. That's what I did in 2020. I trusted the nudge. I took the course that I thought was going to help my network marketing business, and instead it opened up a whole new world. Which is why you're here with me now. Yes, Ashley, she was in the first category until last September, and something switched in her. Yep, beautiful. And I look at all of the training that I did 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, beyond, and before that even. I look at the things that I listened to in my subconscious while I was sleeping because I knew there was something to that. That's how I passed my NCBTMB, my national certification for my massage degree. That's how I passed it. I did not have time to study, driving 90 minutes to work, working a 9-hour day because they make you take an hour-long lunch. This country girl did not understand that. And then 90 minutes back. I didn't have time to study. And so we had a CD player in our bedroom and I listened to the content that was supposed to be on the test at night. That was the only studying that I managed, the valedictorian managed to get in, and I passed my national massage exam with flying colors. That subconscious is a real thing. And so I look at all of the different things that I listened to in faith over the last decade plus, and I'm like, you know what? It did finally culminate in 2020 when a switch, like what Ashley is saying, flipped. Now, had I spent more time doing it, maybe it would have come sooner. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm here now. We listened, gosh, I think we have 27. I think there was 27 months in a row that we listened to the whole Bible every single month. Between 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there. And it was in a boombox in the middle of my house, so everybody heard it all night long. We would go through it every single month. It was about 17 days a month that it was playing all night long. And that's how long it took to get through it. And now we get to do it with other mentors. My kids listen to Think and Grow Rich at night. Like, this is not by accident. It can feel like it sometimes. Like, wow, I finally found the mentor. No, you were finally of a frequency where you could hear the mentor. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. When the student gets to a frequency that matches the mentor, it becomes obvious. So, you have to be able to commit to something and give it enough time to know if it's working or not, while simultaneously being willing to pivot when it's necessary. And the same is true when it comes to our children. I have one that may never go to school. And I do mean never. Because they cannot give him the individualized attention that he will need. And I'm okay with that. I have one that's super artsy, and his brand of art is not my brand of art. We both are artists. I think everyone is an artist, truly. But the kind where you get messy is not my kind. It's his, though. And if I can give him that, even for the rest of this semester in Waldorf, I have enriched my child. That is my job as CEO mom. Enrich my child. And if I can't give it to him, who do I need to include on my team that can? Ah! Ashley! Yes, you appeared as my mentor just a couple weeks after I decided to commit that I will create generational wealth for our family. Crap, I have full body chills. That means something, babe. Oh, okay. But this one that tried out the school today totally loved it. And I mean, loved it. Like, he came and told me, I'm coming back. There was no, Mom, will you bring me back? It was, I am coming back. I was like, My boy with the I am statements. Okay. So he was ready for this step. He was ready for this step. And maybe for longer than I have been willing to see it. We have been in a homeschool co-op for a year, and I feel like that was a nice transition for both of us. He may have been ready sooner. But I am at a energetic frequency now where I can match what he needs without me getting in the way. And we do that as parents sometimes. And we do that as business owners sometimes. And we do that if we're refusing to reparent ourselves sometimes. And we do that with our relationships sometimes. Meanwhile, I am still sobbing on the inside. He's ready. I am crying, but it's not going to stop me from giving him the thing that is his next step and his enrichment. I'm not going to lie. There has been an inner monologue that I have shut down and taken captive multiple times in the last couple of days of, you're not good enough, because, yeah, he does have some catch up to do in order to be with his class. And that's okay. I know he can do it, and I know I can help him do it. That's okay. But here's the thing. We pivot for the good of our family. We pivot for the good of our children. We pivot for the good of our business. We pivot for the good of us. And the last one is usually the one that we struggle with the most. We will fall on our sword for our children 1,000 times. But will you do the thing that you need? Will you jump in the well, not knowing where the vortex necessarily is going to take you? Will you hold your breath? Will you not succumb to this unconsciousness? For you. We'll do it for our kids. We'll do it for our business. We'll do it for our spouse. Will you do it for you? I haven't told anyone this yet, except my husband. I have a offer. I'm not selling to you right now. I have a offer that has been a butterfly with me, like yesterday, since July, maybe August. I actually put it out there in August. Nobody bought it. I was like, okay, I've never had a failed launch. I learn. And I'm glad no one bought it. I energetically blocked it. I know that now. I wasn't ready. But I have this vision of a womb circle. I'm going to call it womb mind. Instead of mastermind, it's womb mind. You can drop a womb mind in the comments for me. And my guess is it's going to launch in March. And it is a ongoing women's circle that we will be actively doing womb healing inside of. And I haven't decided yet if we're going to have it be a 9-month womb healing, womb mind, because that's pregnancy, or if we're going to go a full 12 months and include postpartum. Probably going to go with the 12 months piece. And there will be monthly trainings on womb healing. And then there will be time with me in a Marcos setting after each training. And then you all will have the ability to talk among yourselves throughout the month. I won't be there for the whole month, but I will be there after each training if you want some lasered healing time with me. Yes, I like 12 months too, Ashley. And so the reason I energetically blocked it, I think in August, was because I didn't feel equipped. Was I? I actually do think I was. But I found myself a space, that is actively equipping me so that I feel like I can hold you all in my fullest confidence. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, so there's a teaser, a sneak peek that was not in my notes. Let's keep going because we do have to leave for karate soon. Okay. So I know that this is going to be great for this particular child. And if I'm honest, it will be good for me as well. Like, I already talked to the nanny about how we're going to have to shift hours. I'm not going to be able to work till 5 anymore because I have to pick him up at 3:30. And so we'll be shifting hours. I'm actually we're going to explore me having the nanny here less hours through the week, only by a couple. But it's going to be longer work days for me, and then I'm going to have days where I don't work at all. And I feel like I'm going to have more time to focus and get in my zone of genius instead of a quick 3 hours, a quick 3 hours, a quick 3 hours. And so I think that I actually may be more productive in that way. So we're going to try it for a couple months, and if it doesn't work, we will shift it because we can always pivot. And she's freaking amazing. She's like, I'm here. Y'all are what I do. And so she's happy to shift with us. And so if, like, he may only do this semester. Like, I have no idea what our family life is going to look like by August. Maybe I've made $300,000 and I've made it so that my husband can quit by August. I don't know. I'm open to that possibility. Maybe the bus is completely finished because he quit in May by August and we're on the road. And I'm doing live videos from, my beautiful bedroom in my bus by August. I don't know. I'm totally open to that. But this is an experience that he can have now, and we get to see where it goes. So the tears that I cried last night, they were grief, they were relief, terror of the unknown, second guessing, and a gamut more, all wrapped up into an emotional release in the arms of the safest, we're back to my word for 23, person that I know. Cody. So I set that intention for this year from a place of safe for our family. Safe living situations. Safe health for my husband in a position that physically is not a good place for him to be. Like, I up his heart stuff every winter. His natural stuff for his heart. Safe nervous system as I grow. Thank you, Ashley. She says, OMG, I'm wishing that for you. And now, maybe less than a month after I declared safe out loud, I'm in a situation that is brand new and I get to choose. Will it be safe or will it not? For my nervous system. We are always manifesting. I get to choose how my nervous system feels about this. So your girl had the sex talk on the way home from the school today because I guarantee it's going to come up in a room full of 4th graders with like 8 boys. So we've been very open. Like, we haven't kept anything back, but he hasn't point blank asked any of the questions that led to it. So I was just like, you need to hear this. Oh, okay. Literally, that was his response. Oh, okay. Okay. So that's the thing, though. You get to choose in every situation. Is it going to be safe for you or is it not? And if it's not, you get to choose a different situation. You aren't ever truly stuck. But you have to believe that first. I know people in this world that truly do believe they are stuck. You're right, you are. Do I think you can get out of it? Yep, I do. But if you don't, doesn't matter what I think. So, like I said earlier, January felt like a waterfall. This year is the amount of life I have lived in 6 weeks is the equivalent of probably 2016 for me. The entire year. It is so profound to think about that to me. Like, it is just, it's hard to wrap my brain around that. This is trusting the process, though. When you are in a waterfall, when you are in the vortex, you cannot get out. You can't get off the roller coaster until it stops. You can't get to the side of the waterfall. There's nothing there. It's air. You can't get out of the well. You have to trust that the decisions that you're making when you're being squeezed so hard, when your lungs are feeling like they're about to explode, you have to trust that the decisions that you're making are leading to the bright, brilliant world on the other side. You have to trust that. This is trust the process. If you're showing up online for a business for the first time in a long time, or maybe the first time ever, and yeah, you've posted 10 reels and they've gotten very little traction, you have to trust that in another 92 of them, things are going to be very, very different. But first, you're going to have to go through the excruciating process of creating a bunch of them so that you can use them. I have to trust that this is the best good for my son right now, even though it freaking hurts. I have to trust that it's actually the best good for our family right now, even though it freaking hurts. I have to release my ego of, yeah, I make 6 figures and homeschool 4 kids. Really? Are they happy? Well, they were until February when I decided not to send them to school. Or yeah, they're very happy, well adjusted. 1 of them is in school, 3 of them are at home right now. We do the best thing for the individual. I am not going to coach every client the same way I coach you. I'm not going to mentor every client the same way I mentor you. Every situation is different. Every individual is different. Everybody's vortex is different. Everybody's process is different. Everybody's growth experience is different. There may be some similarities. There may be some overlap. But at the end of the day, it is very specific and individualized to you. And so the last thing I need to say before we go today, maybe. Oh no, I have more notes here. I'm just kidding. I want to talk to you about the nudge. So when you're standing at the well, hang on, what's Ashley's comment here? I'm so much in that trust the process stage too, when I know all the work I'm putting in and everything still looks the same. Yeah, you got it, babe. So when you're standing at the edge of this well with the potential of jumping in or the potential of staying in enough land that used to be really pretty, maybe we can make it pretty again. But ooh, the bottom of that well sure is pretty. Maybe I can't make this as pretty as I can make that. Maybe I'll just go ahead and jump. Let you jump. You have to trust that the nudge that you got, that through the vortex would be better, is true. And the thing about a nudge is it is creator. It is your highest self. It is your greatest good that will give you a nudge like that. Take that course. Hire that person. I don't know where the money's coming from. Okay. The nudge, though, is hire that person. You have no idea where you'll be in a year if you hire that person now, regardless of whether you know where the money's coming from or not. Go on that trip. Why? Because you're going to meet the person that's going to change everything about your trajectory in life if you go on that trip. Go to that retreat. Are you freaking kidding me? Leave my kids for 10 days? Like, pay a nanny for 10 days while I'm not here? It's snow season. It's snow season. My husband can't miss a snowstorm. I can't go. Go to the retreat. You want to double or triple what you did last year? Go to the retreat. Okay. It might be my seatmate on the plane. It might be the retreat experience. It might be the content I make. It may be the strategy I create there. It may be the person that I sit next to in the airport that's going to Hawaii and I'm going back to Colorado on the way home. I don't know, but I followed the nudge of go to retreat. And now the vortex just got tighter because I followed the nudge of go to retreat. And I am trusting the process right now that all the clothing pieces that I actually desire to have at retreat will make it here in time and they'll fit. And I am trusting the process that I will actually make it back to the city to get a spray tan between now and when I leave. And I am trusting the process that my children are going to be totally fine. It does not make sense to start my kid in school tomorrow and leave Thursday. Like, who's going to be emotional support for him? My husband is amazing, and also, that's not his normal role. Does that really make sense? It's fine. Most of the time you're gone, the school is actually on break. Okay? But what about those 2 days I'm gone? He'll be okay. Trust that he'll be okay. What about my other kids that I've never been away from overnight before? Trust that it will be okay. What about the snow? He took the time off. He gets like a $500 plow bonus if he doesn't miss a snowstorm in February. What do you potentially stand to make, Sarah, by going to retreat? Is it more than $500? Yeah. Screw the snowstorm. But the vortex hurts. And guess what's on the other side? I don't know, but I know it will be good. I genuinely don't know. But I do know that it will be good because it's been proven time and time and time again. So I will trust the process right now. I will trust the squeeze. I will trust the fact that I haven't managed to get through all of the Marco Polos that were retreat prep for the last 48 hours. I haven't been able to get through all of them. And there's specific pieces of like, okay, this is your next step. You have to do this. I don't know what they are because I haven't gotten to them yet. Because I have been focused on a child that needed extra this week. And I plan 2 courses this week. You know, I plan to be here with y'all and I plan to be in for Mindful Motherhood and My Word is Law and I showed up for them. By the way, I forgot to tell you, tomorrow's course is still happening, but it got moved up 2 hours because he'll be in school tomorrow and I have to go pick him up. So can I trust that process right now? Like everything feels like it's hitting me at once, including taxes. That's still there. It was like, okay, here's your trial run in January to get used to tax people basically shooting arrows at you all the time. Oh, it's February. Let's add a kid and school and this like last minute retreat prep stuff. Okay, you got it. January was training ground and I cried a lot in January. Now this is probably just another training ground. Squeezing me so that I can come out on the other side of that vortex into the beautiful newness, the brilliance of it, and what it has to offer, all that it has to offer. But in this moment, I still have to trust the process that it's going to be for my greatest good. And as long as I hold that belief, that will be true. That will be true. So sometimes we don't get to choose the process at all. Sometimes somebody pushes you in the well. Sometimes we get to choose to jump into the well. Technically, I chose to jump into the well with the new tax people. I did not anticipate the vortex with them. I didn't know it was a well when I jumped. It's okay. Because I'm strong enough, I'm tough enough, I'm resilient enough. I got this. And so do you. We get to choose how we feel about the fall, though. You may not have chose the well, you may have got pushed, but you get to choose your feeling, you get to choose your attitude, you get to choose how you react to the vortex. Kicking and screaming, fighting for the surface just makes it last longer. Going with the flow, answering the emails as they hit, getting through the Marcos as soon as possible, ordering the clothes as soon as you have the opportunity, canceling that thing, sending those other ones back, hitting the return button in Amazon. Oh yeah, I need to book a hotel next week because I plan to arrive a day early so that I had recoup time. Haven't done that yet either. But I'm not fighting the vortex. I'm just taking it as it comes, and I will get to the bottom of it and that beautiful new space sooner. And I get to choose that it's going to be amazing. I get to choose how I feel in this moment. I get to choose how I react to every new situation, every new opportunity. This is expansion. So how will you feel about your vortex when it feels like you're literally going to die? It's choking the life out of you. When 8 hours of sleep is not enough. How will you feel? You get to choose it. Will you fight it and long for the dull world of enoughness? Or will you embrace the vibrant new world and see just what all it has to offer you? Some situations we are put in are like being pushed into that well. I've felt like that this week, even though I did choose every well that I have stepped into. I declared the word safe a couple of weeks ago. And I am teaching on the vortex, which means that, guess what? We're going to put the squeeze on you while you're teaching the vortex. Oh, you're going to teach sex and orgasms? Okay. You don't get any. You're going to teach mindful motherhood? Your kids are going to go do something they should not do. How are you going to react? How are you going to respond? So whether you jump or whether you're pushed, neither the jump nor the push is right or wrong. It's how you react to it. But I guarantee you that you need the vortex for the next level. Staying in your dull enough world is not going to take you where you want to go. It's not going to take you where your highest self desires you to go either. You have to find a well. You have to find a vortex. You have to jump. And in the jump, you have to trust the process. Erin's here. Hi, babe. So that completes today's training. I do want to talk to you for just a couple of minutes that I have left here about some offers. If you would like to work with me long term, maybe you want to work with me for all of 23 and a month of 24. That would be freaking amazing. So we do have, I mentioned already, Lisa says I'm jumping this month. We do have Energetic Escort, which I mentioned already, coming in March, and Power Play. So Power Play is a short micro course. Energetic Escort is a long program. Energetic Escort is currently $333. Power Play is currently $111. Or you can bundle them both until tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern for $333. So basically 2 for 1, more or less. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Sarah Jordan is the best. Thank you, babe. So that is coming up. Like I already mentioned, we are looking at quantum leaping because Ashley did ask that. We are looking at manifestation. And we are looking at energetics inside Energetic Escort. Power Play is looking at circumstantial power and personal power and what those look like. And that has a lot to do with those reaction feelings when you're in the vortex. Seriously, has a lot to do with that. Let's see here. You can still get in Mindful Motherhood if you want. It is $444. We do have another module coming on Monday. Again, that module's time is shifting because we're starting school, but it will be updated in the events section for those of you that are already in there. And then I do have Resonance. So Resonance is my vault. It has every single program that I have done on cycle syncing, which is a piece that's coming tomorrow, by the way. If you're like, Sarah, you're a cycle syncing coach, you haven't talked about that at all. It's coming. Trust the process, right? So Resonance has every single course that I have ever, almost ever, done. As we replace them, they're going to drop off. So if you want to see last year's Energetic Escort, you want to get in now, because when I start Energetic Escort next month, last year's is coming out of Resonance. So know that up front. Currently, it has FemFit, it has FemPhysique, it has Food and Flow, it has Fueling the Feminine. It has all of the Eating for Your Cycle Phase, Working Out for Your Cycle Phase programs. It has Beautiful Design, the business one. It has every cycle syncing business program that I ran last year. And those aren't going to run again until 24. So you have those in your back pocket. Ooh, yes! Ashley says Resonance is one of the best investments she's made. She's only been there a month, y'all. freaking amazing. So it has every program I have ran at your fingertips, basically. I want to go through In the Mood right now. You can go through In the Mood. It also includes every single live program for 12 months. So you would instantly be in Energetic Escort, Power Play, Time Flow in April, scheduling for your cycle phase instead of the Gregorian calendar, including all of the things that come with that, like karate and like school and like homeschool co-op, because I still have 2 that'll be going to homeschool co-op. Did I mention that? All of those pieces are going to be in Time Flow. Let's see, Food and Flow is coming this summer. Femme Physique is coming this summer. The Sacred Critic is coming this fall. La Femme is coming this fall. So you will have all of those that you will be in real time throughout the year in Resonance, and it will save you money. Because if you try and a la carte every single program that I do live for a year, you're going to spend way more than if you just jump into Resonance. It also includes 1 VIP day per month with me inside of Marco Polo. So you get, maybe you could go through Energetic Escort, and then we have our VIP day on, I think, the 28th of this month. You can come in and be like, Sarah, I have this question about this, and this. And then we'll go into Energetic Escort, the new one, in March, and you can, utilize the heck out of that Q&A thread again, as well as the VIP day. If you want some laser coaching, if there's something that is a really intimate question that you're like, I can't just ask this anywhere, you can bring that to the VIP day for Resonance. So Resonance is $888 per month, or it is $10K paid in full for the whole year, if you wanted to do it that way. And I think after retreat, it's probably going up. So keep that in mind. If you've been thinking about Resonance, it's a really great thing to jump into. Now is the time. Now is the time, because it's only $888. Lisa says, jump in any year-long thing with Sarah. It's so worth it. I have been with her for 2 years, going on 3. Yes, Lisa's freaking amazing. I love her. And then if you would rather private coaching, because Resonance still feels like, I don't want to be in a group when I ask you some of these questions, because I am the cycle syncing coach. Like, we talk periods, we talk sex, and sometimes people are just not comfortable putting that into a group setting, and that's okay. We can do some private coaching, or maybe you want strategy specific to your brand around your cycle. That are things that we would talk about in private coaching if you would like to. So I do have 3-month packages, I have 6-month packages, and then I have 12, like a full year, 12-month long packages. What that includes is 1 60-minute call per week, and I'm working on the possibility of adding some like Marco access throughout the week. So that's exciting. So 1 full year paid in full is $33,333, and then they go down from there, obviously, for a 6-month package and a 3-month package. Pay in full does save you money. 12 months does save you money also, so keep that in mind. And if you want any of those pieces, just reach out in Messenger and I will get you links for all of those. I love you. I'm running too.